Welcome to English Galactic Beacon Channel. I am Tom. Have you ever walked into a room, your mouth dry, your heart racing, and your mind full of 100 what-ifs? That was me. The day of my first job interview. Nervous, hopeful, and completely unsure of myself. But that experience taught me more than any classroom ever could. Let me take you back to that morning. I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. My resume was printed and ready. My outfit was hanging neatly on the chair. But my mind wouldn't stop spinning. What if they ask something I don't know? What if I freeze? What if I'm not good enough? I kept imagining the interview room, the cold chairs, the serious faces, and me sitting there trying not to mess up. Somehow, I fell asleep. And in what felt like 5 minutes, my alarm rang. I got up early, took a shower, tried to eat breakfast, but couldn't finish it. My stomach felt tight, like knots. I wore my best clothes, a light blue shirt, black formal pants, and polished shoes. I checked everything twice, my folder, my ID, my resume copies. I stood in front of the mirror, practicing. Tell me about yourself. What are your strengths? Why should we hire you? I sounded robotic, too stiff, too nervous. But I kept going. I wanted to be ready. Still, there was that voice in my head. You're not experienced. You don't have a strong background. You're just pretending. Felt so real. The office building was taller than I expected. Clean glass doors. Security guards. Receptionists typing fast. I walked in slowly. Tried to act confident, but I'm sure my face said otherwise. Hi, I have an interview at 10 a.m. The receptionist gave a small smile.
Please take a seat. They will call you soon.
I sat and waited. Each minute felt like 10. I could hear my heartbeat. A few other candidates were there too. Some looked relaxed, some were scrolling on phones. I just held my resume and tried to breathe. A lady came out and called my name. I stood up, legs a little shaky, and followed her into a quiet meeting room. Interviewer was already seated. A woman, probably in her 30s, with sharp eyes but a kind smile.
Welcome. Please have a seat.
I smiled nervously. Thank you. She began.
So, tell me about yourself.
I had practiced this, but my throat was dry. Sure, I recently completed my degree in business administration. I've always been curious about how companies work, and I'm passionate about learning new things. I stumbled once or twice, but I kept going. Then came,
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
paused, and then I decided to be real. I think my strength is that I ask a lot of questions. I don't stop until I understand something completely. My weakness? I tend to overthink. Sometimes I take too long to finish tasks because I want them to be perfect. She nodded.
Next question. Why are you interested in this position?
Because it matches what I want to learn. I've read about your company's projects, and I want to grow with an organization that values creativity and teamwork. I could feel myself relaxing. One question at a time. It lasted about 20 minutes. She thanked me, thanked her back. I walked out of the room and sat again in the waiting area. This time not to wait, just to breathe. Was it good enough? Did I say too much? Too little? My brain kept repeating everything I had said. But somewhere inside, I was proud, because I had shown up. I didn't run away. 3 days later, I got the email. We regret to inform you. I stared at the screen for a long time. No matter how soft they say it, rejection hurts. Maybe my English wasn't clear. Maybe I sounded unsure. Maybe I just wasn't ready. But after a few hours of silence, I told myself that I didn't get the job, But I did get something else. A chance to improve. What I learned, how not to fail again. But here's the thing. That disaster taught me more than any textbook ever did. I sat down and wrote out everything I did wrong. Didn't research the company. Gave robotic answers. Didn't practice real stories. Panicked and froze. Weak body language. I began working on myself. Learning step by step. I started talking to myself in English. Every morning in front of the mirror. Good morning. Today I'm going to... Yesterday I feel nervous, but I will try. It felt silly at first. But slowly I felt my voice getting stronger. I watched interview videos in English. Real ones. I paused. I repeated. I copied their tone. I recorded myself. Listened back. Sometimes I laughed. Sometimes I cringed. But I kept going. I wrote answers and practiced with a friend. He asked me questions randomly. Why do you want this job? Tell me about a difficult situation. At first, I stumbled. Then I started smiling. Because I was getting better. Each day, just 1% better. Looking back, yes, I failed that interview. But honestly, I needed to fail. Because without that disaster, I never would have learned how to do it right. Now, I've cleared 3 interviews since then. I walk in with confidence. I speak clearly. I ask them questions too. And I remind myself, it's okay to mess up. It's not okay to give up. If your first interview goes badly, you're not alone. You're not stupid. You're just new. And like anything new, you get better with time. Every disaster is a lesson. Every mistake makes you stronger. Every sentence you speak in English builds your confidence. If this story helped you feel stronger, or just a little less alone, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.